Wow. That was incredible. Obviously, people who knew me well did that because you got all aspects of my life and my very eclectic interests. So thank you, Team CNN, for doing that. Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you so much, Sandy Johnson. Congratulations on an incredible term. Thank you so much to the National Press Foundation. It's actually been terrific to sit with Rob Tashoff tonight to learn about your father and your grandfather for whom this award is named. And I know that your grandfather especially, was so focused on a free and fair media and press, and that is why this award exists. And I'm so incredibly honored to be here because my son, who is actually here tonight, he will attest to the fact that when Sandy called to tell me about this, we were in the car and I almost drove off the road because I was so surprised because I know the company that I am in tonight. My idols, my mentors, Wolf Blitzer, who you saw there, Andrea Mitchell, late, great, trailblazing women, Cokie Roberts, Gwen Ifill. It's really hard to wrap my mind and my head around this. I'm just hoping that you guys didn't use the Iowa Democratic Party app to calculate the votes that got me here. And if you did, just erase it and we'll pretend like it never happened. This is really special to me because of where journalism is right now. We've heard a lot about how hard it is, but I want to look at it from the positive side. And that is that I'm stopped on a regular basis, from the supermarket to the airport, everywhere really, by people who say thank you. I just want to shake your hand. Thank you so much for what you do. And they say it with such sincerity and deep emotion. And I'm sure this happens to a lot of people in this room. For me, I have to be honest, it was a little bit jarring at first. I thought, it's not like I'm an emergency room doctor. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not saving lives for a living. I'm just a person who talks on TV and reports the news. But as time has gone on, these times have gone on, I realize people get it. They do. They get what journalism means more than they have in a generation since you, Bob Woodward, you and your colleague investigated and broke Watergate stories, and you changed a generation, inspired a generation of young people to get into this business. Now, most people I encounter really understand at a deep level how important it is to get the facts, to get truth, even in the face of attacks, not just on the truth, but attacks on those of us who try to tell the truth. I'm really, really lucky to work in a place where facts matter. Facts matter a lot. Where truth is guarded, it is protected, and it is not taken for granted. I want to say a special thank you to Jeff Zucker for leading me and all of my colleagues at CNN in that mission of reporting the facts. Thank you. So this is my 27th year at CNN, and I entered this field kind of reluctantly. I'm a second-generation broadcast journalist. My dad, Stu Schwartz, is here tonight. He was a producer at ABC News. He was a producer at ABC News for 41 years, and my whole childhood, I vowed, I am not going to get into this crazy business. I was at the beach as a kid with my family. The Pope died. We had to leave. Late nights, early mornings. I grew up seeing up close the downside of your lives being completely dictated by world events out of your control. But I obviously also saw the upside. I grew up in control rooms. I grew up around the rush of adrenaline when news was breaking. It was in my DNA, and at a certain point in college, I just stopped fighting it. I tried some internships in TV news, and I really loved it. And I have to say, this was a very big surprise to my parents. Let's just say I was a late bloomer. I had a little bit too much fun in high school. My dad likes to say that he is convinced I graduated from high school without knowing that there were 3 branches of government. My mother studied journalism too, and like my dad, graduated from the Medill School of Journalism at Northwestern. But as a woman trying to break into news, TV news especially, in 1967, it wasn't easy. She graduated with honors from a prestigious university. The only job my mom could get was as a secretary at a local news station where she was expected to iron her boss's pants. She did have a brief stint as an anchor at one of the original cable outlets in Chicago, but left the business soon after and went on to find her calling as a Jewish academic and educator. And Mom, I'm so honored to carry the torch. So thankful to you and Dad for teaching me so much about everything, about this business, but most importantly, leading by example, showing me what it means to strive to be a good person in every part of our lives. Thank you. And speaking of moms, that is my favorite title. It's my favorite job. Thank you to my son, Jonah, here tonight, for making me not just a mom, but a very, very proud mom every single day. Thank you. I also want to thank everyone I work with at CNN. Anyone who works in TV news knows it is a team sport. A special thanks to my producer, Bridget Nolan, my former producers, Abigail Crutchfield and Adam Levy, who are here, Ted Barrett, who I spent a decade with in Congress. We just heard Gloria Borger talk about the estrogen suite where we are in the DC Bureau. All my colleagues on the political team and beyond, who are the most collaborative, smart, and really, really fun people anyone could work with. Thank you to Spencer, my cheerleader and my person, and all of my dear friends, old friends who are here and came this evening. Lastly, I want to tell you about this locket that I'm wearing tonight. This was my great-grandmother Matilda's locket, and inside her picture is in it. She gave it to my grandmother Terry, my grandmother Terry, her daughter, and it was the last time they saw each other during World War II. My grandparents were escaping Nazi Europe to come to America, and her parents were proud Hungarians, and they thought they were going to be safe there. But eventually Hitler invaded Hungary, just like Hitler invaded so many countries before it, and rounded up the Jews eventually. And Matilda, my great-grandmother, my great-grandfather Rudolph, their daughter, and my great-aunt, Magda, were all taken to Auschwitz. That's where they perished. Last month, it was the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. My great-grandparents didn't make it, but their descendants did. We are here. We are thriving. We are living in the greatest democracy in the world. We are helping to make sure truth and facts always prevail, and I thank you for that. Thank you for this award.